If external users are going to be using the financial statements, we don't want to reduce, we certainly do not want to reduce acceptable audit risk. Because we know that many people are going to be relying on the financial statements. I assume that we would want to increase it, basically here. We would want to make sure there was less risk, not more risk. We want to have less risk because we know that many people are going to be relying on these financial statements. So we want to make sure the financial statements are fairly presented. Larger samples, maybe more audit procedures, more audit work done after year end, less work done on a preliminary basis. Yeah, boy, that worries me a lot. Okay, letter C is not in the new edition, so you'll have to come up with a reason for me. Elena pointed out these are all true. A CPA firm should decrease acceptable audit risk for audit clients where there's a reasonably high likelihood of a client filing bankruptcy. Well, wait, if a client is likely to file bankruptcy, then we know there's more risk involved because they may have incentive for misstating the financial statements. So I don't need an answer, do I? It's kind of common sense. Kind of similar to the one before it. And different CPA firms should attempt to achieve reasonably similar audit risk for clients with similar circumstances. That's, well, even though it's, remember, that's similar to A, but A was talking about our own clients. Here we're saying different CPA firms in the same industry with similar clients should probably have similar audit risk, and I would agree with that again.
Why?
Because the same type of issues are involved. Now, if clients in an industry had disparate accounting practices, some had items that were unique, or how similar are these companies? We were talking about construction earlier, but the construction that Amanda's company does is a lot different than CPI Industries construction. And we did like storage tanks and nuclear power plants. A company that makes these high-rise buildings is a completely different type of construction, isn't it? Or a bridge constructor or something like that. All right, well, that's enough on that. Okay. So do that one.
I didn't like that problem.
That was okay. It was new. I've never done that one before either. 9-30. 9-30. Let's do that one next. It's on page 281. Okay, CPA is considering factors in assessing audit risk. Okay, privately held company operates with municipal governments for landfills. Okay, talk about what audit risk is. What are we supposed to do? For each of the 14 factors listed above, indicate whether the item would likely increase audit risk, decrease audit risk, or have no effect on audit risk. And there is 14, so your answer simply has to be increase, decrease, or no effect. Why don't you try and help me out? Number one, this was the first year that the company operated at a profit since 2006 because the municipalities received increased federal and state funding.
Increase because you have to make sure you report that correctly considering it's involving government funds?
I understand your answer. The official answer is decrease.
No.
At least you had an answer. It says healthier financial condition.
I meant to say decrease.
Yes, healthy. No, you gave a comment, and that's important. Healthier financial condition leads to a decrease in risk, which is consistent with the other problem that said if you're in danger of bankruptcy, there's more risk.
So they're less likely to try to fudge stuff if
That must be what they're getting at.
They're wrong. But I know better.
I liked your answer too, though, especially when the company was showing losses all those years. Now they're showing all of a sudden positive net income. Wouldn't that make you a little suspicious?
Plus, I mean, if any company receives
let's say
like money from public money,
let's say they're receiving
more
money from the city of Chicago and state of Illinois. What's the likelihood of them getting large amounts in return? with the condition of the state and city right now.
They-
But by the way, if we're that bad off,
Don't
how
they
come
need
it's-
to be more open and transparent if they're receiving that kind of money? They have to be closer, like, as far as,
Well, you after you
they'll
do
be
your-
more closely scrutinized?
I would think so. But then again, knowing how that operates in this area, maybe not.
Illinois.
That's it.
But I'm just wanted to question on this though, but because it said they knew why it was operated as a profit, is that why? Like if they didn't know why there was a profit, would that be a higher risk?
Yes, it
initially?
would be. Yes, yeah, I think Amanda might be getting it based on the language where it says here that we were aware of this. Number 2 said, our board of directors is controlled by Tucker, the majority shareholder, who also is CEO.
That's definitely a risk.
Yes, that's increased. That's definitely an increase. Management is dominated by a single person. There's a higher risk.
Yeah, there's, what is it, related party or independence?
Well, exactly. And sometimes you'll see that where a company has numerous owners, but one person like controls 95% of the stock. 3, the internal auditor reports to the controller, and the controller reports to Tucker.
What? That doesn't make any sense.
Internal control reports to the controller, and the controller reports to who?
Tucker is the guy that.
Oh, Tucker's the majority shareholder.
Would you really want an internal auditor reporting to a controller?
No, you wouldn't.
So that's-
No, you wouldn't. Then the controller reports to the primary shareholder, so yes. Yes, exactly.
If the
When-
controller's his
yeah.
boss, the controller can tell him to find whatever he wants.
That's it. It says audit risk is increased when the internal audit reports to management. Internal audit should report to whom?
The board?
The audit committee
Oh,
of the
the audit
board.
committee.
Yeah, the audit committee, that's right.
Hold on, when the internal audit.
Yeah, the internal audit should not report to management. They should report to the audit committee. Number 4, county department has a lot of turnover. Increase or decrease or no effect?
You know, it seems like in a lot of companies, accounting has the highest turnover.
Yeah. That might be good in meaning that there's more opportunities for
It'd
the
be
people to
an
change
increase because things may not have been consistently performed.
Perfect. Perfect. Lena gets the gold star on that one for sure. Number 5, our bank has a loan officer who meets regularly with the CEO and controller to monitor financial performance. Either no effect or decrease. The model answer says decrease. They're saying the monitoring by the bank loan officer decreases audit risk. It might decrease it in that one area, but it certainly wouldn't have an effect on anything else.
Shouldn't we never really, as auditors, we should never really assume that there's a decreased risk, right?
Well,
'Cause we're
as
always
you point out, you're always
supposed-
suspicious of fraud, right? Or
Right.
misstatement. Always go in there with that attitude. Number 6, the employees are paid bi-weekly.
No effect.
No effect. 7, you've audited the company for 5 years.
No effect.
Well,
decrease or no
again, that's
effect.
that same issue. They have decreased because you're more familiar with the client, but we've stressed that you always got to be skeptical, even if this is an old-time client. But the official answer was decreased because you have experience with them. That was 7. 8. They changed their method of preparing their financial statements from cash basis to GAAP.
Increase.
Increase, yes. Anytime you change accounting methods, even if you're coming to a better method, increase is correct. Number 9, during the year they sold half of their controlling interest in sanitation equipment leasing.
Increase.
They retained a significant interest, however, in the company. Okay, and that sounds like it to me, but let me just check that one out. That's number 9. Increase is correct. Unusual transactions increase audit risk. Man is doing good on this one, so. But Lena also was part of this one too.
Yeah.
So increase because it's unusual transaction. Okay, 10, litigation against the company alleges that they discharged pollutant into state waterways. This was dropped by the state. Lost contingency disclosures that the client included in prior years' financials are now being removed.
Decrease.
Decrease, because the lawsuit has been resolved. Do you want to be an Olympic swimmer for the Summer Olympics outside Rio?
No.
Did you see that?
Ugh.
They're going to be swimming where there's human waste.
Oh.
Can you repeat the last one for 10? I'm sorry.
10 was decrease. The resolution of the lawsuit has decreased the risk. Actually, this is a new problem to me also, but I kind of like
Why'd you bring up the sewage?
Well, I was thinking about, they were talking about the waterways,
Oh.
and they were, and you know, I just heard that on the news, you know, and they're talking about they were putting pollutants into the state waterways, so
They're so
there
lucky
was a
that-
connection.
They're so lucky that the guy killed the lion this week and nobody's paying attention.
That's
you know?
right, exactly.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, should we all have a cry about that after?
But
That's not his
a-
first time he did that.
No, he shot some bear and then lied about it in
Over
Wisconsin
here.
or something.
Oh,
yeah,
and
yeah.
he settled out of court with his receptionist of 6 years.
Oh, for sexual harassment. Yes,
in
yes.
2005.
Right.
He's just a grimy guy.
Oh, disgusting.
I hope that's the end of his practice.
Well,
And then the brother, I just saw the brother of Cecil just got killed today or yesterday.
Oh,
so
no.
all those cubs will die now. He had been caring for his brother's cubs. Yep. I know, like, WTF. I'm gonna swear, sorry.
Well, no, I don't see this idea about if you're that man when you want to go hunting, why don't you go and volunteer for the military to go to Iraq or something,
No,
where
he
the other
did.
party could shoot back at you.
That's
From
right.
my understanding, he had a permit to go kill a lion. But that lion was protected on the land and he lured it
Yep.
with
That's
meat
right.
to get him off the land and then killed them, and he did that to the
And then they
bear.
tried to discard and destroy the tracking collar. So they knew. They
Yeah, of
knew
course
what they did was wrong.
But why? Did he take the easy route? He couldn't find a lion by himself?
Yeah,
or
they didn't
something?
want to waste time. I paid $50,000.
Come on, you know why men want to do that. They're
that's part of
compensating.
the issue I have with it too. Is it's like if you've got $50,000 to just throw away to
Yeah, that's it.
Like,
He must
No.
feel really
$50,000
poor about
to
himself.
go kill a lion?
That's how much he paid.
That's how much you paid, yeah.
And then he wanted to kill an elephant. He asked the guys to find him an elephant.
God.
And they're like, no. And
At
he's
le- at
killed
least-
an elephant before.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
And
scumbag.
then he puts all the heads either in his dental office, he has them on the wall, or in his home.
No, on his website. On
I
his
mean, I'm
website,
not-
he totally downplayed what he did
Uh-huh.
because he didn't want to piss off clients.
I want to see his head
He must
mounted
be.
on the wall.
No, didn't he resign?
He shut down his business for now, but he made
has
it sound like he
It's
was.
only inactive.
But I don't disagree with hunting. I
don't like
What kind of person needs to? He must be just very
Yeah.
insecure. He has to compensate like
The
that.
head of the College of DuPage, remember?
Oh,
also
Bruder.
loved- yeah, he loved all
Scumbag.
that hunting crap too. I mean,
He's just a scumbag through and through.
during number 11, they signed a contract to lease disposal equipment from an entity owned by Tucker's parents. Remember, he's the major shareholder. This related party transaction is not disclosed.
That's
Increase related party transactions increase the risk. Yes.
and he didn't disclose it.
Yeah, oh, it definitely has to be disclosed for sure. Has to be disclosed. And if he refused to disclose that, I might threaten him with a qualified opinion. I don't think I can make it adverse, but qualified. Number 12, they increased their casualty insurance coverage on several pieces of sophisticated equipment from historical cost to replacement cost.
I would think it would,
They have more insurance.
decrease, no effect, I don't know.
And it's no effect. Yeah, I was thinking it certainly wouldn't be increase. I agree with you. They have no effect. Or if you said decrease, the model answer says amount of coverage has minimal effect on audit risk. 13, they recorded a substantial increase in revenue in the fourth quarter. Increase indicate they initiated a new policy and guaranteed several municipalities they would refund funding paid to them on behalf of the municipality if they failed a federal or state site inspection.
Increase because they have
Yes.
incentive to fudge that.
Yes, exactly here. There's definitely potential for improper revenue recognition, if nothing else. I agree. This is a good, I like this one. An initial public offering of their stock is planned in 2012. Anytime a company has an initial IPO, increase, there's too much risk there that they're going to misstate financial statements to get a higher amount or something. I had one more, let's see if it's worth it or not. I want to get to the next chapter. I won't get into the one after that, but I know that. 9-33, let's see if it's worth it. There it is. It's 9-34 in the new one. I'm just gonna give you the answers and let, okay?
Okay.
It's short answer. There's risk factors 1 through 10. Okay, number 1, this is 9-33. Number 1, acceptable audit risk. Number 2, control risk.
Hang on. Sorry.
That what you said. Number 1 was acceptable audit risk. Number 2 is control risk. 3 is acceptable audit risk. 4, inherent risk. Inherent risk. 5, planned detection risk. Planned detection risk. 6, acceptable audit risk. Acceptable audit risk. We've had that one several times. 7 and 8. 7 and 8, inherent risk. Both are inherent risk. 9, planned detection risk. Planned detection risk. And 10, control risk. Control risk. Let's talk about Chapter 10 briefly. There's a few points. I'm going to let you read a lot of this on your own, but there's a few places where we need to stop.